the climate crisis requires overcoming data challenges. Here at Carbmee, we work closely with companies that are very committed into making a positive impact in reducing their carbon emissions. However, they often face a big challenge: data. A lot of companies do not have the needed information to make assertive decisions towards net zero. And that's the topic of the session today. And that's why I'm here with Nic Meyer today, the CEO of EcoInvenge, one of the most comprehensive environmental data providers available in the market, and one of Carbmee's partner into calculating carbon emissions for Scope 1, 2, and 3. Hi Nic, how are you?
Hi Pia, I'm doing great. Thanks for having us in Berlin today.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have this chat today. Maybe we could start with you telling us a little bit about what EcoInvenge is.
Sure, happy to. So Ecoinvent started about 25 years ago as a group of scientists coming together in Switzerland as part of the Swiss Federal Research Institutes, and they were collecting data for the purposes of life cycle assessment. Over the years, these projects evolved, and 10 years ago, the project came together and spun off as an association known as the Ecoinvent Association. The Ecoinvent Association is an independent, not-for-profit, mission-driven organization. We're based in Zurich. We're about 54 people at the moment, and yeah, it's a pretty fun place to work.
Nice.
Yeah.
Glad to hear. And could you tell us a little bit about the benefits that companies might have into using EcoInvent?
Sure, absolutely. So EcoInvent has a few real clear distinguishing benefits that users of EcoInvent really love. So number one, we're transparent. What do I mean by that? What does transparency mean? It means that if you use EcoInvent data, you can drill down and find actually what is the basis of the data, the reasoning, the logic, the decisions. So we're very transparent in what we publish. Our data collection processes, we're very transparent in the way that you will be able to look at the data. In contrast to some other sources of data in the market, we rather see that we are open and other data sources are a bit more of a black box, which when it comes to regulatory issues is quite an issue, because you know that for regulatory issues, the data needs to be open, and that's understandable. In addition to that, EcoInvent is a broad spectrum database. So not only do we have carbon in the database, we also have land use changes, we have water, we have emissions to the air, and this is really important for customers so that they know in the future, once carbon is not the hot topic and they're worried about food or agriculture or other issues in the market, that EcoInvent will also be the partner moving forward.
It's bringing this holistic aspect to environmental data, right?
Absolutely. I mean, for us, environmental data isn't just about carbon. There's so much more to it than that. You know, ESG is made up of environmental, social, and governance. And for us, carbon data is one aspect of that. It's absolutely important, but there's way more to environmental data than that. In addition, with EcoInvent, you also get economic data attached to the database, which is something that we're continuing to evolve going forward. But if you want to know the environmental impact and link that to economic cost, we're also your partner for that.
Perfect. And you mentioned before about the openness of the data that you guys have and how this is an important aspect for companies and regulatory, but also in reduction, right? You can only reduce emissions if you have access to the entire data set. I'm wondering how you collect this data and how do you guarantee that this is accurate?
Great, okay. So we have thousands of different data sources. These range from scientific organizations through to non-governmental organizations, through to industry associations, also specific companies that we work with. We have a team of experts that work to bring the data in from the data providers, to check the data, to collate the data, which means to stitch it all together in a way that the database actually is like a living, breathing matrix. So we are able to check the quality along this process, and then we take the data and we share it with external reviewers. We don't publish until the external reviewers sign off on the data. So we actually do have quite a really, let's say, well-evolved quality control system. And I think that the people that use EcoInvent data are quite happy with that so far.
Yeah, that's super important, especially with companies wanting to report and have like the GHG standards in place, everything in compliance with the regulations. So that's very relevant.
Exactly.
And moving forward, you mentioned a little bit about carbon right now, saying like we believe that carbon is actually one of the most important aspects because of climate change and the climate crisis and all the regulations that are coming, especially in Europe, to address this issue.
Sure.
But what is your assessment for sustainability in general in business in the future? This year we see a lot of changes already. How do you see this moving forward?
Sure. I mean, the market for carbon in the industry is in its infancy. If I think back to anywhere 5 to 10 years ago, large organizations were trying to get sustainability teams up and running, and then that kind of died. And then in the last couple of years, there's been a really, really big upswing in demand from large organizations. What we see very clearly from the market is organizations are wanting to answer questions that they're tasked with by the regulatory requirements. But there's a big gap between what they're tasked to do and what the internal capacity to do that is. So they work with organizations like yourself, they come to us looking for data, they work with many of our partners in the market, they also work with environmental consultants because they need to answer these questions. But we also have to recognize that's not their core business. Whether you make a fridge or a television or you're running a chemical process, your core business is that thing that I've just described. It's not to actually measure carbon. The reality is though, just like with financial reporting, carbon reporting is becoming part of the norm. So they need to embed that into their processes, even if it's not their core business strategy.
Yeah. Having the same approach that they have for their financial management, also carbon management,
exactly,
management.
Which is a challenge. I mean, you look at how reporting works today in the financial sector, in large companies as well, and there's always evolution, there's always improvement in best practices. It's safe to say accounting's been running for many years, and now we're at the infancy of this industry.
Yeah. And bringing the topic of carbon accounting, not only financial accounting.
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's it from my side.
Okay.
Very happy to have you here. It was very clarifying to hear about EcoInvenge and all the benefits that it can bring to users.
Okay.
And it's a pleasure to be a partner as well here at Carbmee and EcoInvenge.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more sessions like this.